Welcome back to the Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast. And in case you're just joining us, you're listening to the Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast with Emmy Hikins and Trevor.
To the lady, because I find now, I don't know if it's because of the sort of circle that I kind of dwell in, mostly religious, so I find that they would actually hold the door open for you, these ladies, and I do the same. Doesn't matter whether it's an 11-year-old girl or a 79-year-old woman. I would do that. And I find that you just feel better when you do it. But when you don't, not everybody wants to be treated with, not disdain, but not everybody wants to be not treated with respect, if you know what I mean. So, you kind of miss the point then if you think, well, it's like putting everybody in a box, no matter what they are, no matter what they believe in. That'd be unfair. So I would rather be chivalrous. If I saw somebody struggling with perhaps maybe they have too much shopping bags to carry, I would offer. And if they said no, it doesn't.
At least you've offered.
Yeah, so at least you offered. So yeah, I think we should still be chivalrous, because when you do that to people, then the tendency for them to now do it to other people, because sometimes we learn by how we're treated. And so if you treat somebody with kindness, sooner or later, if they get enough kindness, if they're getting treated with kindness enough times, they would probably, start treating other people with kindness. And as such, you've contributed to somebody's, or you've contributed to the society at large by one act of kindness. And so, I believe men should still be chivalrous. Forget what they say. Sometimes somebody's in a mood and they say something, and perhaps they don't mean it. It's just they're just having a bad day, and then they say it, and then it goes on social media, and then you think, everybody. So there's just 1% that don't want to be treated with respect and dignity. The rest of the world, they want to be treated. They want to be at the receiving end of a chivalrous gesture. So yeah, I still believe in that.
A friend of mine was on a train a few weeks ago,
right?
And I was quite taken aback. But I think it does happen. He was crowded out, and a lady got on amongst others at one stop. There were no spare seats. She wasn't an old woman at all. I think she, who knows, 20s or 30s. And he very chivalrously said, "Oh, you could have this seat," and. I don't think, he didn't say she was rude to him, but she said, "Oh, no thanks, I'm not pregnant." And that kind of took the wind out of his sails, and he said, "Oh, okay." And it was obviously a bit pointed that she felt she was being offered a seat because in some way she needed a seat or whatever, so she took offence. And although I wouldn't like to think that kind of thing is common, it does happen. I saw, I don't know whether you go to the cinema much, I go sometimes, and I saw a week or so ago the film F1, Formula One, about the Formula One races. And it starred Brad Pitt. He was very good. And his role was a racing driver. And he was called Sonny Hayes. That was his name in the film, Sonny Hayes. Well, his team, I forget which, it was probably an invented name for their team. There was a Formula One race and he was racing. And of course, when the cars, as you probably know, come into the pit stop, they can have their tyres changed or some other aspects of the car. So as soon as it comes in, there's somebody at the front to jack it up, and then there's teams, a couple on each wheel. And it's quite incredible because it showed it in the film, but we know that when these things happen in real life, the car comes in, stops in exactly the right place, the jack goes up, wheels change, 2.9 seconds, the car is off again. I mean, it is phenomenal. So when they know the car is in, they're telling him to come in. The team comes out and they're waiting in their spot exactly to make it very quick. Well, in the team, in the film, there was a young woman, clearly a very capable young woman, but amongst all the men mechanics, she was the only woman mechanic. There was another woman more senior. So when the car was coming in, she was one of those who rushed to one of the wheels, waiting. Well, the car came in, and of course it's vital they get a good quick changeover to maintain a position in the race. Right. Well, she messed up. She didn't do something right. She couldn't get the screw of the wheel back on the wheel properly. So instead of 2.9 or 3 seconds, it took to 12 seconds while she managed to eventually get the wheel back on.
Right.
So it didn't help the race. He didn't win that race anyway, and there was a stage of the film where he wasn't going to.
Yeah.
Anyway.
We're going to take a short break now. We're back shortly. You've been listening to the Alien Spaceship Talk Show with Trevor and Emmy Hikins. The Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast is looking for sponsors. If you're a company out there looking to spread the word about the products and services you provide, please get in touch with Deepstuff Radio Podcast on info@deepstuffrecords.com, or to use the contact form on our website to contact us, please visit radio.deepstuffrecords.com. Also, if you're looking to get involved on the Alien Spaceship Talk Show podcast, reach out via our Deepstuff Radio Facebook page. Thank you.